What's going down, y'all? It's your boy Ray GQ here to talk some NBA prop plays over on PrizePicks for this November 27th, 2022 NBA slate. Got a lot of games on the docket tonight. If you're new to the channel, we don't make you pay for picks, baby. Walk you through the process, show you the data, take what you like, leave what you don't. Just hit the thumbs up button on your way out of the building. And if you're new to PrizePicks, use that promo code WAKEUP at the bottom. You put in $100, they will match you up to $100 for first-time users. We always got to recap the plays that I discussed on the channel. I was out on the 26th, but on November the 25th, recommended 4 plays, 3 of 4 cash. PJ Tucker under 7.5 fantasy score in the first half. That hit, as well as Ben Simmons, first half points, more than 5.5. That cash. And Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, it's scary. Every time you bet him, dude's going to be in foul trouble, but when he's on the court, he's a monster on both sides of the court, offensively and then defensively, the blocks and the steals. Be talking about Jaren Jackson Jr. again today. Unfortunately, Anthony Davis's first half fantasy score of 25.5 did not come to fruition. 3 and 4, the last video I dropped. And for the month of November, know a lot of y'all been asking what's my record. 28 and 17, around 62% hit rate on the plays that I recommend on this channel. So I got some good stuff cooked up for us. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's get into the plays right after the intro, baby.
For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PrizePicks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, let's pull the model up, and here we go. Right here at the top, Steph Curry's three-pointers. PrizePicks has it at 4.5. This is juice to the over on the books. Look what Steph's done over his last 5 games, 35 minutes. Love that. Know he's going to get his shots up, averaging about 5.8 three-pointers made over his last 5. We got him projected for right around 6. Standard deviation of 1.3, which means we are very close to it. He's either going to be around 4, 5, 6. This is a pretty good line for us. I don't think they're going to move it and bump it to 5, 5.5, nothing like that. Probably set here at 4.5. You see the Minnesota Timberwolves, 10th best matchup against the three-pointer. Steph Curry is going to get his shots up. I like a couple of Warriors in that game. So Steph Curry more than 4.5 threes. I'm loving that. Andrew Wiggins, I've got his fantasy score pulled up here. The overall fantasy score should be solid, but what I want to target is Wiggins' first half fantasy score of 15.5. Let's pull up the PrizePicks board right now and talk through it. Move myself out of the way so we can see everything. Let's come over here. Andrew Wiggins, over his last 5 games, you see 30.5, 26.4, 22, 19.1, and then versus Phoenix, 6.7, averaging 20.9 fantasy score in the first half. Over his last 5 games. And if you look at Andrew Wiggins, what he's doing, this is what I love. He's getting the points up. He's getting the shots. He's second on the team behind Steph Curry in first half field goal attempts. Love it. Over his last 5 games, he's getting about 10 shots, but it's right here. Averaging close to 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and he's trying to get you, getting you about a steal per game, per first half over the last 5. You see the fantasy points calculated here, which should be a little higher on PrizePicks at 24.5. over his last 5 games for Wiggins. So I absolutely love this play for Andrew Wiggins to go over 15.5 first half fantasy score. So we're going to lock that in. Let's go ahead and go to the full game of the NBA and get Steph Curry locked in over here on PrizePicks. Steph Curry, more than 4.5 three-pointers made. Then we'll tap back into the model and talk about a play that we touched on the Thanksgiving holiday, right? Ben Simmons. His first half points. Now, this is his entire points for the game versus Portland, but I want to go back to the first half play for Ben Simmons. So let's pull up PrizePicks and look at what Simmons is doing in the first half, and then we'll take a look at some advanced metrics for Ben Simmons as well. But he's playing confident basketball right now. 6.5. They bumped it up a little bit right here, but 9, 6, 12, 12, and 8. Ben Simmons more than 6.5 first half fantasy. And if we go look at some advanced stuff for the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go right here. Let's go to Brooklyn. Take a look at what Ben's doing in the first half. Right here, second on the team. I know Kyrie just came back, averaging 9.4. He's getting up about 5 field goal attempts and shooting a whopping 78%. Dunks and layups for Ben Simmons. Again, this line of 6.5 is still a little too low for me. I like the more or take the over 6.5 first half points for Ben Simmons. Let's tap back into the model. Marcus Morris is another player that I want to talk about. His full game fantasy score, taking an under on that. And this is a plus matchup for Morris, all right? This is a very good matchup for him, and we'll dive into the model in a second. But Morris, over his last 5, averaging 20.2. I know that they are going to be without Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George in this matchup. But if you look at Morris and what he's been doing over his last 5 games, Marcus Morris, he's getting up about 12 field goal attempts per game, which is solid, averaging 13.8 points, but he's not doing a lot in any other department. Rebounds right around 3, 1 assist, doesn't really get you any steals, doesn't get you a lot of blocks. And if you're not doing those things, steals, blocks, rebounds, and dimes, I'm not fooling with you with the fantasy score. You come back to our model. Again, plus matchup, fifth best matchup against the power forward position in Indiana. 28.5 fantasy score. He's averaging 20.2 over his last 5. Right here, we got him projected for 20.3. I'm taking an under on Marcus Morris' full fantasy score. Difficult matchup or an advantageous matchup for Marcus Morris, but I'm just not trusting it. He doesn't do enough of the other stuff, some of the dirty work in order to hit that fantasy score, and that's why the line is not posted right now, y'all. But Jaren Jackson, they're going to post it, right? They're going to post it later, probably after this is going on, closer to some of those later afternoon games. Anywhere from 31.5, which his fantasy score was set at last game, up to like 34.5. I'm pretty solid taking an over on Jaren Jackson tonight, his fantasy score. He does the stuff that's necessary in order to cash that fantasy score. If I had to rank these right now, it would be Andrew Wiggins at the top, followed by Steph Curry, Ben Simmons, Marcus Morris, and Jaren Jackson would slot right in here underneath Steph Curry and Ben Simmons. So that would be a core play for me. Wiggins, Curry, Jaren Jackson, Simmons, Marcus Morris, under. That's what I'm rocking with today. Hope if you tail any of these, man, we cash out. I feel really confident about these ones, but it's the process, right? Again, don't make you pay for picks. Just walk you through what we're thinking, take you through the model, show you some data, take what you like, leave what you don't. Just hit that thumbs up button on your way out of the building. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you're playing with today. As always, if you tail, get PrizePicks hell, and if we failed on bail, baby, we'll be back with Monday Night Football picks, more NBA, all that good stuff, man. I'm out of this thing. Good luck. Good night. Peace.